Hey guys, welcome back to another episode here on my crypto journal. It's going to be a pretty exciting week next week when we have the merge and the inflation numbers coming out. Today's video is going to be a market video about what I see in the markets and what I think is going to happen, because I've been watching these charts for the past 2 weeks and they've been a little bit wonky, a little bit with no direction. We've got Bitcoin hitting that 18K level that we hit back in July once again and bouncing. So I'm going to get into what I think is happening in the market, potential scenarios that could happen after next week is over with, and what opportunities are in the market. So let's get right into it. So you guys can see right here, BTC collapsed on the 6th of September and managed to hit 18,500 and is now checking back in on the breakout zone. We've got this little triangle that it managed to break down in, which is normal because it is a bearish pattern forming here. And now we're getting the check back in. And what usually happens at the check back is that we tend to continue to go down. But there's a little bit of a problem here, is that we managed to hit a very important price point of 18,500 because this was the price point that we bounced off back in July. Now, it's not as low as 17,600, and we could definitely see that happening here. We could simply be bouncing up and heading towards the downside. To have a better idea of whether we're going down here or not, it pays to look at some important charts like the dollar index. Now, if we look at the dollar index over here, we have really been trucking along and pushing, and we're beginning to see some weakness here. We're not able to hold this blue moving average anymore, and we're heading down to that green one. But as I said earlier, there is the CPI numbers coming out, which is going to show us whether the Fed's starting to pivot or our interest rates simply going to keep going up. So if that happens, I assume BTC is going to fall down and the dollar is going to turn around and head towards the upside. Right now, there's a lot of bearish divergence on the dollar. Now, if we go to the day chart, it'll be a lot clearer. You guys can see as price is moving up right here, we've got the MACD making lower lows, so you get lower highs, I should say. So you guys can see that divergence happening. Now, as that happens, BTC happens to be at a very low point on the chart, a very important support on the chart. So what I'm seeing here is that we're at opposite ends with BTC and USD, as it should be. So this is a potential big reversal point for BTC. And it's true, we have this little spot down here which we could dive into a little bit more, and that might be reserved for the volatility that we're gonna see next week as people anticipate or guess which side we're going on, because no one really knows until it happens. So what is that gonna mean for the rest of the market? So let's take a look at the next biggest coin we have here, which is Ethereum, because ETH is also extremely confused. I mean, you guys can see the chop. We've got 10% move up, 15% move down, 15% move up, and 10% move down in a matter of a couple of days. So Ethereum has a couple of things, because we have the merge coming up, as I previously showed, in 5 days and 14 hours. So as we start ticking here, we're going to get a better idea of where we're going. FBTC is at almost an all-time high. We're hitting resistance in a little bit here as it chugs along to whatever this Satoshi, 87,000 Satoshis. So Ethereum has a lot going on for it. And all this is going to coincide with what happens next week. And I imagine all this will be resolved next week once we get some direction, because right now this is just noise. We don't know where we're going. We're trapped in between these two moving averages, and you can see we're ping-pong up and down. However, we do have a macro bearish picture going on here. This is painting a bear flag right now. So if this is any indication, it's going to tell us that, okay, inflation is going to go higher and the crypto market's going to go down. Bitcoin is going to break the bottom. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. We just can't rely on it because these things can change very rapidly with an announcement. Now, the alts are also giving me hints that things are going to get bearish. But again, BTC and the dollar are giving me also very confusing signals. BTC and the dollar are saying, okay, we're going to reverse. The alts, however, and Ethereum are saying we're going to go down. So there's no real distinct direction here. Now, here are a couple of charts I can show you as to why I think we are going to be heading towards the downside. Now, we've got ABTC over here, okay? ABTC, if we go down to the 1 4 hour, you guys can see here we have another BTC-like break, triangle pattern, broke down and is checking back in, possibly to head back lower. previously. We had a bear flag that is painted to take us lower, and you can see the bearish patterns continue and continue. Right here, I don't know what we're printing because it's too early, we just broke, but it stands to reason that the bearishness will continue. Another example of this is on Engine. Now, if we look at Engine over here, we have sort of a similar scenario. Engine has a bear flag. It broke to the downside, checked back in, and now what are we doing? Are we going to head back lower? I don't know yet. But if we get above this bear flag, it stands to reason that, okay, we're trying to reverse. Most of the altcoins on the USD side look pretty bearish. On the BTC side, they look better, but still not as great as I would hope. So it's extremely hard to tell. All this to say that there is no real point in trading right now because there's so much noise out there that I'm just going to back off, wait for the market to show me which direction we're going, because things are going to get very volatile next week with everyone anticipating which direction we're going to go in. There's a lot of coins I'd like to short, but it just doesn't make sense because I'm getting too many mixed signals. Another coin that looks like Engine is Uni. It's a beautiful short opportunity. You guys can see the bear flag, the retest, and are we going to go back down? Usually it's yes, the case is we're going to go down, but I just don't know because of all these other factors. So we're reaching very important levels here. You guys can see also on YFI, we've got sort of a range going on here. It's very indecisive, too much back and forth, no real trending moves. It's ranging as if we're waiting for something. So we are waiting for something. We're waiting for next week to come along, which is 5 days from now. And as much opportunity, as much volatility there is in the market to make some good profits, it is just too risky. And this is a little off topic, but I mean, can you guys take a look at this coin right here? It's Luna, and it's just, this is insanity. You know, if, from the bottom of the crash on August, it's made a 600% move. What is going on here? I don't even know why Luna is still trading, but this is the crypto markets and people vote with their money. So it's crazy stuff. But as for now, guys, there's really not much to do in the markets. It's more of a game of waiting and seeing where the markets will take us after all these important events get out the way. Once that happens, we can resume with regular trading for at least a little bit until the next CPI number comes out in October, and we'll keep cycling until we finally get a clearer picture of what is going on. As for now, we just gotta wait and see, and then we can react depending on which direction we are headed. So with that said, guys, happy trading out there, and let's see what happens next week once these numbers come out.